Namaskaram, dear listeners. The story proceeds when Vidura left Hastina on the fateful day when he made up his mind to visit all the holy rivers of Bharatavarsha. He wanted to bathe in the Tirthas which had been sanctified by the feet of Narayana. He went to Brindavan and rested his weary soul in the shelter of the Govardhana Parvata, the hill which was dear to Krishna. Vidura found a semblance of peace in his troubled mind when he thought of Krishna and the childhood of Krishna, which had been spent there in Vrindavan. Bhishma had told him that Krishna was Narayana himself, and tears flowed from the eyes of Vidura when he thought of the good fortune of the Govardhana Hill and its slopes where Krishna wandered at will during those days when he had not yet been saddled with the responsibilities which burdened him now. Even though he was the Lord incarnate, Krishna had to be like one of the many whom he had come to protect, and a smile of joy lit the face of Vidura at the thought of Krishna. After a few days at Vrindavan, the Vrajabhumi, Vidura proceeded northwards. He visited many tirthas and several kṣhetras. At the end of his long travel, he reached Prabhasa Tirtha, the favorite spot of Krishna. There he heard about the annihilation of the family of Dhritarashtra and about Yudhishthira being the Lord of the world. Protected as he was by the armor of detachment, still Vidura's heart was touched with sorrow, and quietly he moved towards the bank of the river Saraswati. From there he visited several other tirthas again and came to the banks of the river Yamuna. There he met Uddhava, the playmate of Krishna. Such a long time had passed since they had met. They were locked in a close embrace, and tears were flowing from their eyes. Vidura composed himself and said, "What a great moment for me! I have met you after so many years. Tell me, how is Krishna and how is the valiant Balarama? How is everyone at Dwaraka? Is Satyaki still as fierce as he used to be? How is Pradyumna? Tell me about them. It is ages since I heard of them and their welfare. I have been visiting the Tirthas. I am eager to know all about everything. I heard that Yudhishthira is now the Lord of the world. I left Hastina long ago, driven away from there by the son of my brother Duryodhana, as you might have heard. I have been wandering all over the place, and I have been far away from the cities. I know that Narayana came into the world of men in the guise of a human being to establish dharma and to destroy the kings whose arrogance was unbearable. These kings were afflicted with three kinds of madas: Vidyamada, Dhanamada, and Kulamada. One of them is enough to turn the head of anyone. And when all three madas are found in one man, Vidyamada, Dhanamada, and Kulamada, if these are all found in one man, is there any doubt as to the high degree of pride and sinfulness in him? The world was full of such kings, and the Lord destroyed each one of them. Now, he must be resting after performing the immense task he had undertaken to perform, said Vidura to Uddhava. Tell me, how is he enjoying his leisure time? How is Krishna and how are the other Yadavas? Uddhava was silent for a moment. His mind went back to the days he had spent with Krishna ever since he was a boy. Uddhava was lost to the world of men for that one moment. His eyes were wet with joy at the thought of the remembered things of the long ago. With a start, he came back to the world. Wiping his eyes, he said, "My friend, your questions make me sad. How can I answer them? Krishna is no more. Krishna is dead." Vidura stood stunned. He could not comprehend the words of Uddhava. Looking at him, Uddhava smiled sadly and said, "It is true. Krishna is dead. The glory of the earth vanished when Krishna died. And it grieves me to think of the ignorance of the Yadu house, which could not see Krishna as the avatar of Narayana. You know, Vidura, when the moon is reflected in the sea, the fish living in the water do not realize that it is the moon. They think it is just another fish which has come to stay with them. Even so, the Yadavas thought that Krishna was just one of them. They knew he was greater than them, wiser than them, and so they called him the best among the Yadavas. That is all. And they are all dead, every one of them. No one lives except me. They could see that he was wiser than them, but they could not realize his divinity. "But how?" exclaimed Vidura. "How come they all are dead? Please tell me everything. I can bear it." Once, began Uddhava. Once the youngsters of the Yadava house had offended some of the rishis who had come to Dwaraka. They dressed up Samba, Jambavati's son, as a woman and asked the rishis teasingly if this lady would bear a son or a daughter. The angry rishis said, "She will bear an iron pestle which will be the destruction of your entire clan." Samba did give birth to an iron pestle, or rather, when they removed the disguise from him, they found an iron pestle. The children were horrified and they went to Balarama and Krishna with the entire story. Balarama was very angry. He made them grind the pestle into powder and throw it into the sea. He forgot all about it, but not Krishna. At the end of the war at Kurukshetra, Duryodhana's mother, the saintly Gandhari, was very angry with Krishna because she felt that he was solely responsible for the war. Like a bamboo forest is destroyed by the fire caused by itself, the Kuru family was destroyed, the fire being jealousy, said Krishna. But the royal mother would not be convinced. She told Krishna, "Your family will also be destroyed by itself." Krishna bent his head, and with folded palms he received the curse. With a smile he said, "Mother, it is a blessing and not a curse." Years passed. Krishna knew the moment had come. He suggested that the entire family should go to Prabhasa and spend some time there. So they went, a happy crowd. One day they were all drunk, and overcome with intoxication, they did not know what they were saying or what they were doing. They began to quarrel with each other. Insults were hurled at each other, and in a matter of moments, the quarrel became violent. They were killing each other, and when they found that they did not have many weapons, the fighters plucked handful of the reeds growing along the shore of the sea and hit each other with them. The reeds had all sprung up from the powdered pestle of the long ago. Each reed became as powerful as an astra, and the entire family of Yadava, Bhoja, and Andhaka clans was gone, annihilated in a matter of moments. Krishna walked away from them, and I found him seated at the foot of an Ashwatha tree. The Ashwatha tree is also known as the people tree. I told him I would also go with him, said Uddhava, but he asked me to go to Badrikashrama. I refused and said, Krishna, I will not live in this world without you. You have always been by my side. Please take me with you. Sage Maitreya came there too. Krishna looked at me and said, You must listen to me, Uddhava. You cannot come with me. You have a mission to perform. I will teach you the truth. I will teach you the Brahma Vidya. You must travel all over the world and teach it to those who do not know how to reach me. He taught the great lesson to me and asked me to leave him. After I left, Krishna was seated in a yogic trance. He had assumed the Padmasana, and his left foot was placed on his thigh. A hunter at a distance saw his left foot resting on the thigh. The pink foot and the yellow silk created the illusion that it was a deer. The hunter took aim and sent an arrow. The arrow entered the foot of Krishna, and he died not long after. I am on my way to Badari, said Uddhava to Vidura. Vidura was listening with tears flowing unheededly from his eyes. He looked at Uddhava piteously and said, Please teach me the lesson which was taught to you by Krishna. You know how sorely I need it. Uddhava said, I am not the person to teach you, my friend. It is Maitreya. Krishna asked me to tell you that you should go to the ashrama of Maitreya and learn the Brahma Vidya from him. Please seek him out and learn from him. After a tender leave-taking, Uddhava went in the direction of Badrikashrama in the north. Badrikashrama is the place where Nara and Narayana had performed tapas long, long ago. The Lord, leaving earth, left earth completely deserted, and Mother Earth was pained by the atrocities of the humans and their lives on earth. There is no limit to the misery, the pains, the diseases, the wrongdoings, the atrocities of the Kali Yuga. In the next narration, we shall proceed to hear more of Vidura's journey to the banks of Ganga where sage Maitreya had his ashrama. Hari Om.